Chris Broussard, Fox Sports NBA analyst, joining me now live, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. So let's go back to, I was saying, Chris, that LeBron James, over the course of the last 12 hours, has changed his mind 3 times. These are difficult decisions. He wanted out, he wanted to think about it, and then he wanted to play. And I said, I appreciate LeBron's willingness, his lack of rigidity, his willingness to listen and talk. And that's one of the reasons I like LeBron, is that he's a curious soul. Incurious people wear me out. Are you surprised that the players did elect to play, according to reports this morning?
I'm not. Yesterday, as all of this news was breaking, and we were talking about it on our radio show, myself and Rob Parker, I felt like the most likely scenario was that they would start playing within a few days. But then when the reports came out about the Clippers and the Lakers last night not wanting to resume the season, that's when I started thinking, okay, this season really, it truly is in jeopardy, because obviously, as Udonis Haslem said in the meeting, you can't have the playoffs without the 2 best teams in the Western Conference. So that got me skeptical, but I figured, guys would go to sleep on it, and get up not quite as emotional as they were last night. And, I think what I want to hear is, are there any, I don't even know if concessions is the right word, but what have the players talked with the owners about? Because remember, LeBron said in the meeting reportedly that he wants the owners to be held more accountable. And the owners have a lot of power. I've seen on social media people criticizing the players and saying, well, what's boycotting the league going to do? The league is not the one against the players. I think the power is in the owners. They are very powerful people in this country, very wealthy. They have connections at the highest levels of American society. They can be in touch with lawmakers. Just yesterday, think about it. The Milwaukee Bucks basketball team was able to get the attorney general and the lieutenant governor on a Zoom call like that. That was done by the Bucks owners. Look at Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft he went to visit Meek Mill, the rapper, and said in prison, and said he shouldn't be here. 2 weeks later, Meek Mill was out of prison. All the charges were dropped. The judge on the case had been changed. Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Philadelphia Eagles players, Kevin Hart, they had all been trying to get Meek Mill out of prison for 5 months. Robert Kraft visits him, says one statement, and he's out in 2 weeks. That's the type of power that these owners wield, and the players are beginning to understand that. So there are people that are talking, forget defund the police. What about abolishing some of the police unions?
Right.
That is something the owners could talk to police commissioners and chiefs about, and perhaps get done. Only half of the police belong to the union anyway. But that can be a hindrance to justice. So those are the things I hope that the players will address with the owners. Say, utilize your power on our behalf, and we'll play the games.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's the kind of discussions that are going on.
I'll throw something out at you. I heard a story this morning I thought was brilliant. The Indianapolis Colts registered every player to vote yesterday. And I thought, that is incredibly bright. How about this? Owners around the NBA, you can now not only register to vote in the arenas, but you can vote inside the arenas. If we're
absolutely,
to me, that's an obvious one. Like, really, for the average guy like you and me, not a billionaire, for the average guy like you and me, our power is in voting. That's really where our power is. So make it easier to vote. So I wonder if that's been discussed, the voting issue.
I would imagine that has, especially remember, LeBron's got the voting initiative he put together. So I'm sure that's the case. We saw that, I think in Houston, they're opening up the arena as a voting site. All the arenas should do that. Make it easy on the people whose votes have been suppressed historically to get out and vote, and they don't have to be there all day. It's as simple as it is for the people out in the suburbs.
Your initial, my initial reaction last night was, wow. And my initial reaction after about an hour, I kind of read stuff and watched stuff. I went on Twitter and I said, I don't know if canceling the season is great because I think the platform's been amazing. What was your initial reaction last night when you heard it about the players, just the Bucs, what they did? What was your initial reaction?
Well, like you, the first thought was, wow. I think that was everybody's first thought. But after that, I got to be honest, Colin, I've never been more proud of black athletes in my life. I've always felt that they should use their power and their platform to work on behalf of the masses of African-American people, not even so much on themselves, for themselves, because they have their league unions, but on the behalf of the masses of African-American people who aren't in the privileged position that they are in. And I thought last night was a step in that direction. And I say that about athletes because I feel like black athletes are the most beloved, most well-connected to corporate America in terms of the corporations. They're the wealthiest by and large, and they are the most irreplaceable African Americans in the country. That gives them a leverage that other black people do not have. And so I want them to use that on behalf of the masses of our people for equality and justice. And I thought they did that yesterday. And even though they're going back to play, that now the owners know of all the leagues, to be honest, that this is now a possibility. If something else happens, God forbid, outside of the bubble that really rankles these players, then they could move again and say, look, we're done. We're not playing the season. We're not doing it again. And so that gives them leverage. And I like that, and I want them to use that going forward. So I was very proud of them. And I just had the highest respect for them and for the white players that supported them as well.
Yeah. Good seeing you. I've see you on a lot of platforms last couple of days with strong opinions. We always appreciate you giving us time because we know you're a busy dude. And I got to tell you, I think Joy and I were talking last night. I got some pushback when I said I think the platform matters to create awareness because awareness starts with me hearing you and me seeing you. And it is interesting. I think the players in the end, I do believe, made the right decision, Chris. I do believe the platform is so powerful. I wouldn't have heard Doc Rivers 2 days ago.
Right.
I don't hear him without games.
Right. I think the platform is definitely powerful. As you said, Doc Rivers, Jaylen Brown, Fred VanVleet, a lot of these guys have made very poignant statements. But I think the players were feeling, when they saw what happened to Jacob Blake, they were feeling like, well, what? Okay, yes, we're wearing the Black Lives Matter shirts. We're kneeling. We're making comments after the game about these issues. And it happens again. So I think that's what led them to go ahead and boycott yesterday's games because they felt like the platform, yeah, it's there, but it's not doing anything. It's not working. And so they took it to another level, which I think was good. And now hopefully that'll have bring about the change that they want to see, that we all want to see. But yeah, the platform is valuable. They do look, obviously these guys have social media. They can still get out there and make a comment. It won't be quite the same, but it is a platform. But no, it's not the same as being in the bubble and having all the eyes of the world on you.
Good stuff, Chris. Thank you so much, buddy.
All right, Colin.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.